Well then, there's no time to lose.
Yes.
So we just got back from seeing Alice Through the Looking Glass, and thoughts?
Kind of about the same as the first one. I didn't really think that much of it.
I kind of, strangely enough, I kind of had the same experience. Like, I had the exact same reaction. And I went, this is okay. This is, I enjoyed it.
I didn't have that same, like, I tried to like the first one, but I didn't. And it was mainly, I don't know, I didn't like the first one. I like this one, though. I thought this one was okay. Though I still had problems with this one, a lot of problems, but I still felt this one was a little better than the first one, mainly because Mia Wachowski is much better in this than she was in the first one, where she kind of just made this face during the first movie. Like, even like when she was like, when she like got thrown the hat and she's like, oh, I'm so disinterested. Like, Nostalgia Critic made fun of that in his review. But I think part of that is, I have two theories why she's like that. First, she hasn't been, during that time, she hadn't been in very many movies. So especially bigger movies. So I guess she was a little nervous. And now that she has like more experience, that's why she seems a bit more interested this time.
Yeah.
And two, it could have been just Tim Burton probably just didn't give her. He's like, do whatever acting thing you want. I don't care. I'm Tim Burton. It's just
also CG. You know, it's much harder to get a real expression when.
Well, but my biggest problems, especially of the first one, was just like the prophecy stuff was dumb. They cut that out, thank God. And there was just a lot. And of course, they breakdancing scene. They know breakdancing in this one, thank God. Like, they didn't do anything like that. And there's so much stuff that was in the first one that just made me go, this one did not have.
Yeah, this one's definitely not as dark as the original. In fact, I'd actually say this was a more family-friendly movie than the Angry Birds movie.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, are we talking about the book it's based on, or the first movie of this series?
I was talking about this movie just now.
Yeah, well, because the big difference is that in the last one, it was kind of a dark time because like the Queen was in charge, so everything was kind of darker. But now that Anne Hathaway is in charge, everything's all bright and colorful.
Yeah, but apparently the dark stuff in like the first movie wasn't very well received by people who had read the books.
Yeah.
At least that's how Doug Walker felt about it. But this isn't really much of a road trip movie either. But in fact, there's not that much that's new about it, except for anything to do with Father Time.
Well, because like the thing about the first one's always about a prophecy and that only Alice can stop the thing. And the big problem about the first one especially is that everything is dictated by that prophecy. So it's like there's that one scene, it's like, who will fight the Jabberwocky? And everyone's like, it's Alice, because you read the freaking scroll. You read the scroll, guys. You know it's gonna be Alice. There's no point of having a scene where everyone's like, "Oh, fight the Jabberwocky!" Like, no, it has to be Alice. You read the scroll, right? What's the point? It's just so much but this one didn't have any, like, there was no scroll or no prophecy dictating.
Also, there's a little more at stake. Well, okay.
Well, there was a lot of things at stake in the first one too. It's just that it wasn't as. But keep going. Sorry, Pop. You want to say something?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, you kind of have to wonder, where do people get all these prophecies? I mean, with like
we already made that joke.
Yeah,
Doug
already made that joke.
Yeah. I really love how the Lego Movie parodied it. That prophecy I made it all up.
Yeah,
that's kind
of prophecies are just like. Yeah, I'm not
they even call it out early on the film. You're just making this all up, aren't you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Then they did that in Secret of NIMH 2 as well. In fact, Nicodemus, he was not even a prophet. Yeah, okay. So
the prophecy thing is usually kind of a bummer, especially like because the big genre thing I like is anime, and there's most anime storyline is always some prophecy, some kid's gotta save everybody with his powers or something, or some prophecy thing. A lot of animes have
not that I know of.
Well, there are a lot though, supposed to, but Oh no, wait, there's prophecies or whatever, but yeah, I liked this one. I felt it was more enjoyable for me, anyways. I thought though there's still a lot of scenes that were a little but it wasn't as bad. Like I liked the beginning of this. I like the part with her where she's in the real world with the boat and everything.
Oh
yeah, actually, that was a good scene.
Yeah, and
I want to mention
even the party stuff. Like I didn't feel it as weird as like really dumb as the first one, where it's like most unorthodox runs that stuff with the dad. Oh, I don't want to wear a corset. Look at me dance or some crap. And just like I just felt that was just kind of dumb. I thought this was more interesting. The real world stuff was more interesting this time. It felt more real to me. Well, the mom too. Alice's mom was much more interesting. In the last one, she was just the stuck up mother. And this one, she was actually getting a little more. I mean, she was still a little stuck up, but she felt more real to me. I like that stuff. And
I think real is relative. You still have to consider the time period. This is a long time. I think.
I know.
If my knowledge of history is semi-accurate, this is a while before women even wanted women's lib, you know?
Yeah, I know. But it's still just her mom just kind of felt like a caricature. She didn't feel like a character. She just felt like an archetype or whatever. Like she was just there to serve a certain point. She wasn't there as a person. And this one, I felt she actually was a person to me, anyways, instead of just something to get Alice moving. I mean, she was still kind of that, but she still had more personality, I felt, anyways. And that probably was because it wasn't directed by Tim Burton, who just does not care anymore when it comes to certain movies like this.
This is probably my favorite movie with Sacha Baron Cohen in it. I think this is actually his best role.
I think Sweeney Todd. And
I mean, Les Miserables is a better movie, definitely, but
yeah, well,
but I like him more in this. But he's not just
in this one. He's not entirely played up all for laughs. You know, like most of the time.
He still was a little goofy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though personally, I mean, I loved his original show, the Ali G show, which the director of this actually worked on, and that's in his movies. Borat and Bruno I like them. I'm not saying you guys probably wouldn't. I mean, Pop definitely would not like them.
I saw part of Borat, and
I think they're really good.
Definitely hit and miss.
They're definitely better than like Bad Grandpa, which was just awful. Like, because Sacha Baron Cohen is very good at improvisation. He's and that's why Borat and Bruno were really good to me. And Dali G Show is where Borat and Bruno came from, and they were really. I thought those are, and that's why I think the director wanted him, because he worked on his show and everything.
But I mean, the character of Time isn't just there for he's not just there for a quick laugh. Yeah. He does serve some purposes.
Yeah. But I still feel that I liked him a little better, probably in some other. But he was really good in Sweeney Todd as well. He was in that was a Tim.
I haven't seen Sweeney Todd, so I can't.
You saw it. We saw.
No,
it.
I didn't.
Yeah, we saw it in Jim's house or whatever.
No, I didn't see it. I've never seen it.
I think you did see it actually.
No, I've never seen it.
I think you just forgot, but yeah, I think you did see it.
No, I've never seen it.
John, yes, you did. You were there because whenever I went over to visit Jim's, you were always there.
The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Yeah, just because I was always there doesn't mean I think you saw it.
You were there in the room too. I remember.
Nope, I didn't.
You probably just forgot, John.
I didn't see it.
Keep saying that, but I'm pretty.
I did not see it.
Okay, let's stop fighting about this. But you were there.
Yeah, just because I'm there doesn't mean I see everything.
I'm pretty sure you saw it with us, though. You just forgot. Let's
just
get back. Okay, let's forget about this.
So here's what's going on in the movie. Alice returns to Underland, and
that's still stupid. I still hate that.
Yeah. And so it turns out that the Mad Hatter, he's led to believe that his family is still alive because he found a small hat that he made when he was a kid. How does he come to that conclusion exactly? I mean, we know that his dad he thought that his dad threw it away.
Yeah, because that's what happened. Then, he thought his dad threw it away or whatever.
Yeah, and so why does he think that he's still alive when he finds it like out in the woods where the attack of the Jabberwocky happened?
Well, They were because they were playing around or whatever, and they found it on accident. Because he thought his dad threw it away in the trash. That's what happened. He thought his dad threw it away in the trash. He didn't think like that's what confused him. It's like, wait, didn't my dad throw that out? Why is it on the floor here or something? So
yeah, I guess so. I guess he wouldn't really know that the spoiler alert, the Queen of Red Hearts has actually taken his family captive.
Yeah. So
also, which begs the question. Why didn't she just have the Jabberwocky kill them as it's implied in the movie?
Yeah, that's...
Like, why keep them at all?
To be a jerk, but I don't know, it's stupid.
She's got some collection.
Just like how they solved the Red Queen, too, because she's technically the main villain. They try to convince you that that's the Time Doctor guy, the Time...
Doctor.
The Time guy, but it's her, and how they solve her whole... Because she's basically evil, and how they solve her whole dilemma is so stupid. It's just all Anne Hathaway had to do was say, "I love you." Okay, that's it. Like, what? Didn't she kind of say it in the last one? Like,
If only you knew the power of the dark side. Hey, knock it off.
Okay. It's just, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of... I thought, like, they should have had a speech to her, and she's been like, okay. Because that's what I thought was going, and it's just like, well, no one loves me. I love you. Oh, really? Okay, I'm done now. Like, what? Yeah. That was it? Yeah. And, like, especially, like, her dad is a jerk. Like, people keep picking on his daughter, and he's like, you can't be queen. Blah, blah, blah. Like, what? No. Like, no dad would be, like, no self-respecting dad would, like, that's what should have been, like, it should have been like, yeah, dad was kind of a jerk. And that's what should have happened. They should have bonded over that their dad was terrible.
Well, no, she clearly proved she couldn't.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, at the same time, though, they were kind of picking on her. Like, at the same time, the king should have said something like, "Stop it!" And I mean, you can't really blame her for freaking out at everybody for making fun of her. At the same time, yeah, I mean, it's not like she said off with her head, but she didn't actually, like, I mean, maybe if she, like, went up and knocked someone over and tried to kill him, I would have been like, okay, king, no, stop. But she just kind of yelled. He should have just been like, shut up, honey, calm down, you're not going to be... And then he should have talked to her or whatever and tried to convince her that that's not the way to go. And then if she kept being that way, then kicked her out, not just, like, one massive yell and that's it.
So, the way that... So what Alice is trying to do in this movie, she goes back in time, figure
wow,
of time.
Now after that doesn't sound right. After seeing this movie,
yeah, okay.
That doesn't sound...
All right, so she time travels.
Better.
Okay, yeah, okay. She time travels, and so she's trying to save the Mad Hatter's family from dying, and so that's basically how she finds out that they didn't really die. And so what she discovers is that you can't change the past, and yet isn't that kind of what she's doing? I mean, she does, like, stop the Red Queen as a kid from hitting her head on the clock, and she hits her head anyway. Actually, something else.
I thought the whole thing... Well, here's what I thought when I saw that scene. I thought, okay, so... Oh, this is why she has... Because Alice changed it. Like, because you saw that she was looking at Alice when she trips, and you think, so, because it's implied, what I thought is that it's implying that if she hadn't have looked back at Alice, she could have stopped, and it's because of Alice messing around in the past that she has a big head in the first place.
Yeah, that's why Alice went back in time, it didn't really mess up anything.
I'm not sure that's what they were getting at.
I thought that.
Yeah, I think so. That she was supposed to be there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of got that too.
Was it trying to say that she was just there the whole time? Like, even before she went back?
That's how time travel works in a lot of movies and stuff.
Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you can actually change the past in other movies, but this actually kind of goes the route of, like, Project Almanac, that if your past self realizes that it's seeing your present self, then like everything starts to kind of fall apart. In the case of this movie,
it rusts. That's clever.
Everything starts to turn, like, all red and crusty.
Rust.
And
time is rusting over, and I think that's
rusting. Okay.
I want to also talk about another problem I had was a lot of the other characters didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
like the Cheshire Cat had nothing to do. The Tweedledee and Tweedledum had nothing to do. The mouse had nothing to do. They're just there. Yeah. Even like I'll miss you guys, though you guys brought nothing to the table. So what was the point of you guys running around?
Yeah, they did a lot more in the last film.
Yeah, they were a bit more important in the last one. And this one, I mean, especially they kind of ruined the Cheshire Cat. Like the Cheshire Cat's supposed to be kind of a guy who shows up and is kind of weird, but in this he's kind of just a cat that can turn to puff that hangs out with everybody.
Also, he's sort of this. You're not supposed to know whether you can trust him or not. He supposedly often gives misleading advice.
Because like even in like the American McGee Alice stuff, he's your guide, but he's still kind of weird. Like he's guiding you but at the same time he's just kind of giving you weird riddles and stuff, and he's not really being that helpful too. In this, he's just like, even in the first one he was all right because at least he did disappear and do some other stuff, but in this one he's just kind of hanging out. Like he's just the cat who can teleport and disappear and hang out with everybody, and just everyone, all the characters from it, just like weren't there to do anything. There was one moment where I thought that maybe the White Rabbit was gonna do something when they were trapped with the vegetables. I thought he was gonna like shoot, because they're made out of vegetables.
Why? You're a rat. No, they have two. They have the March Hare and the White Rabbit.
Yeah. Total
use them.
I guess they don't like asparagus. I guess because it was made out of asparagus.
No, I do not like asparagus.
Though I did like how they get freed anyways, because the queen just were eating all of them. I just kept questioning. I just kept thinking they were gonna do a really bad joke there, with some guys like, you don't want to know what part of me she ate.
But yeah.
I was afraid they're gonna do like, don't do it. Oh, thank God, because it is written by Linda, whatever her name is. I think she wrote the original Beauty and the Beast Disney film. She also wrote the last Alice as well. But yeah, I think so. I believe that's what I was told. That's why, like, I remember when I saw a video about that she was returning to write this one, and like that she's like, don't worry, she wrote all this other good stuff.
I want to ask. So you know how Disney has just been doing a live action of
I think she wrote Maleficent as well.
And some people think, oh, it's just going to be like the Avengers.
No, I didn't think that was going to happen. But they're trying to resurrect their live action brand too, because Disney used to have like successful animated stuff, but also successful live action stuff. But their new live action stuff has been kind of hit or miss. I mean, there's been hits like Cinderella and The Jungle Book, but then there's been a lot of misses like Maleficent, I think. Right?
They've kind of Maleficent actually did well in the box office. They're kind of realizing that the only live action stuff that's actually making money is either a remake of one of their classics or a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I mean, it's believed
let's be realistic.
It's believed that the box office failure of Tomorrowland is why they canceled Tron 3. There are still people trying to make Tron 3 happen. It'll happen sooner or later, I'm sure.
But yeah, there's been like stuff like Tomorrowland that didn't do very well, but like
and John Carter.
I did feel a little bad I did like John Carter, actually. I felt a little bad for John Carter and Tomorrowland, even though Tomorrowland got a little weird near the end. But yeah, I was hoping that those would do well, and I'm actually kind of excited for the next Pirates, because I can't remember who the directors are, but they've actually done some really good work, so I'm curious to see what they'll bring to it.
Yeah. I imagine in the next few months we'll be getting a teaser to Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm kind of bothered by the fact that they're calling it Dead Men Tell No Tales. I really think it's kind of lazy to call the subtitle of a sequel like a phrase that was in like a previous movie. I mean, it's kind of like calling the next Jurassic Park something like Jurassic Park 5, Hold On to Your Butts. Or,
I want to see that. Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butt.
That's right. Samuel Jackson is now a zombie.
Yeah. Well, they did
zombies and dinosaurs.
Zombies.
But yeah,
I mean, they could do that. They did Sharknado 3. Oh hell no.
Well, I think we're getting a little off track.
All right, so back to the movie. What do you guys think of the visuals in this?
Good.
I like, especially the Ocean of Time.
Yeah, that was really good.
Even though you could definitely tell it was a green screen behind Alice.
No, there was a lot of green screen in a lot of parts, but I felt there were some cool like Hatter's house was great because that was a real place. So was the Red Queen's for the most part Red Queen's place. These were when they're mostly inside. There was some stuff that wasn't CG background.
And Time's castle on the giant clock. The design of that was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty, and I like the little seconds. They're cute. They're funny.
Yeah, those things though, those kind of made me think of like Ralph from Spy Kids 2 and 3. Those things were, and looks like they kind of took a day off on the effects there.
Though, I guess the only problem is like, why do all like these guys who want to always put something like that clock is important. If that clock time dies and time gets all screwed up, so why does he leave a bunch of morons in charge of it?
That's good
because they're just really dumb. Like, why would you want someone like
we assume,
well, same reason we would put Jar Jar Binks in charge
stand next to this nuclear launch codes.
Okay, so we can assume that when they form minutes, their intelligence sort of collects and they become smarter. And when they form the hour, they become much more smarter. So
smarter?
I think they just become bigger. That's all I think that really happens. They just become bigger. But it's just that, like, I don't know. It's like.
Well, there's no
it's like
grammar. Smarter. You get what I'm saying.
Well,
right?
if you ever find yourself speaking with some bad grammar, just remember this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Which guy?
Me no have no bad grammar.
Who is that?
Petrie.
Petrie. Oh, that's Petrie. Okay.
That be worse, sir. Okay, all right.
Okay, I thought you were okay. But I didn't think this was as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So, what do you guys think of the acting of like? I already talked about Mia Makowski. Yeah. I thought she did much better, mainly because I do think it is because of the experience. I think she has more experience.
Yeah.
So I think she's a little less nervous.
I've already talked about Sacha Baron,
and it could have
Sacha Baron Cohen.
What do you guys think of Johnny Depp? I thought he was all right.
Yeah,
he was all right.
Did he have a lisp in the first one? I don't think he did.
But I don't know. He was okay. He wasn't that bad in the first one, but in this one, he just seemed like he didn't give a crap. Like, he's just like,
yeah.
Oh, well, I'm just waiting for when Kevin Smith needs me for his next movie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. That does seem like it. I felt the first scene between Alice and the Hatter was kind of rushed.
Yeah, I felt the whole when she first went to Underland was kind of rushed. It felt so weird. Like everyone's just kind of there. It's like, huh?
I don't
get any. Like I like the first one. At least had some. You got time to kind of enthrall yourself a little bit. This one just go, hey everybody. I mean, not at first the Humpty Dumpty and like the chess stuff was all right, but
no, it's like time during the first movie is like, oh, like he does this, he gets tired and he fast forwards it. It's like, oh, let's just get through this.
Yeah, that was funny. I love that scene too. But yeah, it was. There are a lot of stuff I actually thought was really funny. For me, a lot of this movie was like a really good scene, then like a scene or then a bad scene. But for the most part, there was a lot of scenes I actually kind of enjoyed. But
I think the traveling through time, like the effect of the ocean of time, I really like that.
And I think probably the reason why I kind of like this a bit, maybe is because maybe James Bobbin, the director, probably gave more. He probably cared more. I think Tim Burton didn't really care that much in the first one, but I think James Bobbin did, at least from what I saw. I think he was enjoying himself a little more than I think everyone else did. But yeah,
all right.
I don't know. But other than that, yeah, it was a good. I was surprised. I wasn't. Maybe it was because I saw everyone else's review and they were so angry. Maybe that's why. Because I was sort of thinking I was gonna really hate it, but I was just kind of indifferent towards it.
We should have seen her. Oh, never mind.
But other performances, what did you guys think of Anne Hathaway? She's okay.
Yeah, she just walks around like C-3PO.
Yeah, they actually made a joke about that in the first one. There's a scene where she's looking and like no one sees her, so he just runs normally. I didn't notice that until my teacher, because I rewatched it in when I was in high school in my film class, we watched it. She's like, he told us, did you notice that? And then every time I'd see that scene, I was like, you're running normal. That's okay, pretty.
Gotta make sure I don't run like Liam Hemsworth in Paranoia.
Or running like Seth Green at the end of Goldmember, Austin Powers. Just want to let you clarify, no one else in my gene pool runs like a girl.
All right.
But yeah, I like, but that was great. That was scene. She's like, she was actually one of the only other characters who actually wasn't useless. She actually did kind of have a point, like her and her sister. Though like I said, I did feel that her and her sister's story was kind of wrapped up way too easily. Like, what? That's it? You just had to say you loved her? Then why didn't you just do it before?
No, she had. Not just that. She had to apologize.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, there was that.
I know, but still, like, if that was the whole reason why she was so angry, it's just like all she had to do was like go when the Jabberwocky. I'm sorry, I love you. Okay, Jabberwocky, take a hike. Oh.
So it said. So in this film, it said that the past will always happen, no matter what you do, and we've seen this, and we see it already with Alice, because she thinks, oh, the Red Queen is going to hit her head on the clock, being carried around, and she stops that, but the Red Queen hits her head anyway.
Yeah.
That's something else, yeah.
And by that,
but like I was saying,
but what was going to happen even if the Red Queen tried to change it? How was time going to right itself, or himself, or oh man, this is all screwed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I don't know. I still feel that. Part of the problem was probably your dad's he just kind of like, what, did he just give up on her eventually? Oh, she has a big head, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't know, I would think if I had a kid and people picked on, like I'd probably be a bit more defensive in a bit. I mean, yeah, he did.
I'd kick ass.
I just think that, like, they should have shown a bit more that she probably did other things besides just yell at them once about taking off their heads. I mean, maybe if she actually tried to chop someone's head off and then the dad came and was like, nope, you can't be ruler, it would have made more sense to me. But instead we just sort of see one scene and it's like, I just felt that was kind of weird to me.
I always, like, you know how there's a lot of literal stuff in Underland? Like stuff.
I don't
like, I always thought her head got so big because she always has a very prideful attitude, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So, and she got herself a swollen head because of her swollen ideas about herself.
Yeah. I just can't wait. I can't wait for Underland 3, Rise of the Lycans.
That was kind of a
actually the next Underworld movie is literally called Blood Wars.
I have to say the only real disappointment for me in this movie is the asylum sort of story plot. That just come.
No one mentions it either. It's like, wait, isn't she in an asylum? Like, no one mentions asylum.
Like, what? Like, why even have it in there?
Yeah, one thing I actually do want to mention that I thought was going to happen, they did now, thank God, was there's this one guy during Alice's real life parts who's kind of on Alice's side, who kind of became her first mate. I was afraid he was going to be her love interest. I was like, oh, they didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, he does sort of become like her first mate.
But he doesn't.
But yeah, that's about it.
Like, it wasn't like there wasn't a scene they kissed. It was like having barely any screen time. I'm glad they didn't do that. Like, I was afraid that that's what they were going for. Though there is one dumb thing where it looks like everyone's gonna die. Oh, nope. Or like Mad Hatter's gonna die. Nope, that didn't happen. It's just like, can you just get over? Especially like, I would have been fine if like she almost gets frozen over and then she drops it and like, whoo, I did it. That would have been fine. But they had to do this whole scene where it's like, she failed. Oh, no, she didn't. It's just like, oh, don't do that. It's just like, we can only take so much before we start going, nope. But
also, you kind of assume that when everything in Underland rusts over, you'd think that it would spill in, because this is supposed, not just Underland, but time itself is just rusting over, and you think that just would spill over into our world, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my problems are still with what Nostalgia Critic said about the first one, was that Alice in Wonderland really shouldn't be this narrative story thing. It really, though I felt they handled the narrative story thing a little better in this one.
Why?
Than the last one, but
also, you can kind of assume in the first movie that Underland is called Underland because she, falls down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
In this one, she walks through a mirror.
Yeah.
It should just be called Metal Zealand. From Lego Movie.
Why? And so there's no... So, yeah, why call it Underland again?
Because she still fell when she got out. When she went.
Okay,
she
that's
did kind of fall.
true, but not down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's still... I still do agree a little bit with Nostalgic that Alice in Wonderland shouldn't be like a real. It should be something like nuts, like or this crazy. Like Mad Hatter in this really should just be called sort of Mad Hatter, because he's not really that mad because he still kind of has a structure. He just kind of does weird hats and weird stuff. He's just weird. It should be called the Weird Hatter.
Well, if you go by, he definitely, because the sort, like. You know how, you know where that comes from, right? Okay, so at the time when the book was written, hats were made in a very particular way, and I don't really know. I think it was the chemical that was used. I think I'm not sure, but the hatters would inhale it, and over time they would develop a psychosis. But it's not what we see in the original animated film or the book.
But they still...
It's very different.
But still, Alice in Wonderland should still be, because it's supposed to be a world that's crazy, that's out of control. Or because it's like what Nostalgia Critic said about the first one, is that everyone... Even the Red Queen is kind of crazy, and they're supposed to be mad too, so they shouldn't care that she's crazy, because they're just as crazy as each other, so no one should care, or whatever. It makes more sense in Nostalgia Critic. I can't explain it as well as he does, but it's it's still just... It's fun. Other than that, if you really just look at it as something else, and just it's kind of its own Alice Wonderland thing, it's just like, it's fine, I guess. But it's still, I still don't like. But even thinking of that, I still don't enjoy the first one so much. I just think that, and it's things about the first one I just didn't like. I just thought there was a lot of dumb stuff in that one, like the breakdancing scene and the, I like big things. It's kind of creepy, and there's some dumb stuff that was just like, This was kind of in the prophecy thing I didn't care for. Okay, so I also want to talk about the music video before like I just felt like I don't mind Pink, and I don't like that song was fine. I just don't think the idea of having like a music video or whatever.
I hope this doesn't become like a trend,
because well, it's kind of,
I actually kind of like that idea. I mean, I like hearing the being able to hear like the entire song from a movie, which they don't usually play the entire song.
Yeah, but the problem with that though is that we're not always gonna get Pink to make a song for a Disney film. We might get someone we don't like Bieber. Because that was the thing I did not like. Arthur Christmas is a great movie. I love that film. But when I saw it in theaters, the first thing before that movie started I saw was just people going, and then having a crappy rendition of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which was terrible. Not even the video was awful, and just the song was just meh. It was just like, that's why, because Pink is fine, but like eventually we're gonna get someone we don't like. It's just, I think it's because they couldn't get a short at the beginning of this. Like, Cinderella got like Frozen or Fever or whatever, and this didn't really get anything. So it's just like, they put a music video. I don't want to see this, because we're gonna get because we're probably gonna get someone we don't like performing something. So I'd rather, if I really want to see the music video of the thing, I'm just gonna find it on YouTube if I want. I don't really want to see it, because I want to see a movie. I just want it to start. I don't want to.
I started to wonder if the music video was at all directed by Kurt Hugo Schneider. He's a music video director on YouTube. He also plays the guitar. He's directed a lot of music videos for YouTube bands like Alex Goot, Against the Current, Sam Sui, and they're all great. Really enjoy watching their videos. And there are often nowadays he does videos that are like all one long take, or at least lengthy takes, and the camera moves really smoothly. He makes like the Birdman of music videos.
Well, but this one wasn't him though. It was Dave Hugo or whatever. But yeah, it was
Dave somebody. Yeah,
Hugo. I think it was Hugo.
I don't think it was Hugo.
No, it wasn't. Sorry, you got mixed up with Hugo. You said Hugo, so I was like, all right, I'm getting mixed up. But yeah. And Jeremy Johns was the whatever co-producer, and he did something else, a supervising producer maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was Okay, let's final thoughts and grading, so we don't have to burn this on a computer. Because if you're wondering like if we were talking about something that got cut off, I'm sorry. There's something we had to do something, so we're sorry. But yeah, let's grade this. Final thoughts, grade. Pop.
I'm just gonna give it a C. I went in kind of not expecting much, and I don't really think I got a whole lot. So yeah, C is yeah. Or on the pop meter, 45%.
B.
Right.
Just B.
Okay.
It was fine.
I don't know. I think for me, B would be a little too steep. I was gonna go with a B minus, but even I'm still just like I liked it, but not that much. I'm gonna give this one like a C plus. I think that's the highest I could probably give this. But
Okay.
I liked it better than I thought, but it's still not. Like I want to give B to something that I kind of enjoyed, like I kind of enjoyed. Like I probably would have given if we saw The Finest Hours, I probably would have given The Finest Hours a B. I really like that one.
Yeah.
So, but like this one is just more of like in the C plus range for me. It's enjoyable, and I would say probably take your kids to see it if you really like. I would suggest more of this to see your kids, because it's definitely something that like. If your kid, unless of course your kid's like a huge fan of the book, maybe he wants what the books are, maybe he probably won't, I don't know, or he or she or whatever, but yeah, it's...
Like anyone who liked the first movie, I think will really enjoy this one.
It's mine. Okay. So trailers.
Okay,
we only have one new one.
There's a couple.
Yeah, well...
There was a couple, I think.
Really? No.
But we got like a new one for BFG.
Yeah, we got it, and then there was...
And then there was, the one called Sing, which is like Illumination Zootopia, I guess.
Okay, I thought there was another one, but I guess I'm not. But yeah.
Except it's like every animal in that universe sings.
First, let's talk. Which one was first?
Sing.
I think it was Sing. I don't think there was.
What was the other one that we have to talk about?
I mean, we got like Me Before You again.
Are there
any? Is Me Before You a trailer that should be playing before this? Because I think that's a PG-13 movie, isn't it?
Well, the PG-13 is fine.
I mean, like Ninja Turtles, if that had played before this, I would have understood that, but...
Well, so isn't that PG-13?
It is,
also,
but I don't think those movies really need to be PG-13, at least not the first one.
The reason why I'm confused about Me Before You is because it's a love
so
story.
Close.
Yeah.
It's a love story. It's kind of an adult love story. It's not like a kid's love story.
Comes out like next week, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So
along with Ninja Turtles. That'll be a good weekend.
I'm actually excited for Turtles. It looks better. It looks like Dave, mainly because I didn't see Crypt Echo, but so far I'm probably sure who's the director?
Dave Green.
Dave Green is probably a much better director than Jonathan. What's his name? I hate that guy. I don't like that guy at all.
Jonathan Liebesman. Yeah.
I don't like
director of like Battle Los Angeles and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not particularly a director I really like. What else did he did something else?
He did the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, that was Lissenhop.
What?
That was John Lissenhop. That was the director of Takers, who did that one.
No, I'm. Oh, well, wait. No, not the first remake. The prequel to the remake, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Beginning.
The beginning.
Yeah, that was Jonathan Liebesman.
Oh yeah, that's probably actually the worst Texas Chainsaw of all of them.
Even more than the 3D one that came out in January 2013.
Oh yeah, it's like Texas Chainsaw's bad, but the New Beginning was just so dumb. Especially because I remember Chris Stuckman in his review of Through the Looking Glass, his problem is that he didn't like that they explained a lot of people's backstories. Like he didn't think that really mattered for Allison, or what he didn't think that really mattered. It's even worse for like a horror movie villain. Like I didn't bug me so much in this one, but in Texas, like when something like when you're trying to explain why a killer that you're supposed to be scared of, it doesn't make him scary. That just makes you feel bad for him. Like Texas Chainsaw, you weren't like, oh my god, Leatherface. You're like, oh, poor Leatherface. He was picked on because of his skin condition. It's just like, it just ruins. I mean, sure, the other one did too with him. He's your cousin, and he's gonna save you from the evil Texan guy. So it's just like, but I don't know.
No, that's even worse.
In a way, that's even worse. But it's not. But still understand, because I don't know. They're both awful. Let's just say they're both really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Also, they try to explain other things in the beginning, like why a lot in the Texas Chainsaw remake, why this happened and why this character's like this or whatever. It's just kind of like why this one guy has no legs or something. But yeah, it's just. But anyways, let's get back to what was the
Sing?
Sing.
Yeah.
I definitely. This is not the one I saw on the internet. It is the same one, but it's a little different. Like when they say the characters who's in the movie, they actually put them right next to who their character is. In the trailer I saw on the online, but this one they don't. They just go, "Who's in it?" Like what?
Yeah.
Like, and I like it. Definitely better than the first one. The very first teaser for Sing was just showing like all these animals singing popular music, and it was just it wasn't very good. This one still had that part, but it was spliced in with stuff from the story, so it was more interesting. My only two big problems with this trailer was one, they mentioned The Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah, and that movie hasn't even come out yet.
It's not out yet, so how do you know that everyone's gonna go, "Ooh, I really want to see this movie because of that movie"? Like it.
Well, because everyone remembers the poodle rocking out, and that's enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But still, the movie hasn't come out yet. I don't think you should announce
that's true.
This movie, even though it hasn't come out yet. It's like mentioning like 300 when Rise of an Empire came out from the director of 300 Rise of an Empire, which is the trailer you're watching. Here's one here. But it looks all right. My second problem is the way the music is edited in the trailer. Like the editing for the actual visuals is fine, but the music is so weird. Like it'll be all sad and depressing music, then really happy music, and then just like confusing fun music, and then it's just kind of weird. But so I'm gonna give it a maybe. What do you guys say?
Maybe.
I'm like, I don't know. Really,
I don't think it's gonna be as good as Zootopia though.
It's not going to be, I'm sure.
But I'm pretty sure so far Illumination Tainment is starting, I think, to get a little better, because I'm not the biggest fan of the Despicable Me movies all that much, but Secret Life of Pets looks really good, but it still hasn't come out yet, so I still don't know.
Yeah.
And Sing looks all right. It looks like. It does look like Zootopia, just about a singing competition instead. But I'm still going to give it a shot and see what happens. So,
yeah,
it looks entertaining.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at least the producer of Illusion, Chris Melanotry, is no longer doing Ice Age anymore. I'm just like, thank God the guy got away from that. He's like, nope, I'm out.
All right. So, tomorrow night, we got...
Wait, what about the new second trailer? We thought there was another one.
Well, we got Ghostbusters again.
I think there was another one.
No.
I don't think so. I mean,
Well, there was a new trailer for something, wasn't there?
No, it was just Sing.
Yeah, I think just Sing.
Because
I'm kind of surprised we didn't get the teaser for Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, we did get Pete's Dragon, though.
Oh, yeah, there's Pete's Dragon again.
BFG. That's
the new BFG.
There was a new BFG trailer, the second one. And it still looks. I'm still gonna give that a maybe. Still kind of on the maybe there because I haven't read the book, so I'm still.
I'm still going with yes.
I'm gonna go with yes.
It still looks very heavily CG'd though a little bit, so but I'm still gonna give it a shot and see what happens. It could still be good. It's Spielberg, so. And Williams is back as his music guy because he wasn't there for because he was supposedly he was in the hospital.
John Williams?
John Williams, yeah, he had a problem, like he was sick or something like that. That's why he couldn't do the music for Bridge of Spies, and that's why when Stuckman was doing his analysis of Force Awakens, why he said the music in the Force Awakens sounded kind of rushed because he got sick during them while he was doing it, and so he couldn't finish it or whatever. So they kind of went a little fast on it or whatever.
All right, so.
But I still give it maybe. And what do you give it, John? You didn't say what you gave BFG.
You said yes.
Yes. Yeah, it looked good.
So tomorrow night, X-Men Apocalypse.
Not for me.
Yeah.
So since John won't be there, we'll just be nice and say what's next week. Turtles and.
All right, so it's Ninja Turtles and Me Before You.
No, Me Before You. I
actually like getting a romance movie and an action movie the same weekend. Like Edge of Tomorrow and Fault in Our Stars came out the same day. That was, yeah.
You sure that one came off Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
It probably was.
Right.
But
Yeah. So, tomorrow night it's X-Men Apocalypse. The mutants against the guy who claims that he is Jesus, and for that matter, every deity ever conceived.
Well, no, he doesn't claim that he's Jesus. He thinks he's just a god and he thinks Jesus is a false idol. It's a false.
Well, he has said, "I've been called many things over many generations."
Yeah, but I've
Ra,
seen the
Krishna,
movie,
Yahweh.
Yeah, but
doesn't mean.
But I saw the movie. He's basically just like he's destroying he wants to just because I'm seeing it again with you guys, and I think Cam's joining us for that one, right?
I think so, yeah.
Because he said if it Redmond, he said he didn't want to go for Woodinville. So.
All right, well, Mr. Apocalypse, you've got some explaining to do.
You got to remember though, Apocalypse is not a real person.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
He's just a character.
It's just
in
a movie. It's just a movie.
Yeah, it's not like he's not. No one's saying Apocalypse is real. There's no Apocalypse.
That would be scary.
Yeah.
There's no Tom Cruise. Join the Apocalypse count.
You know.
Right.
Funny though. Until like, Tom Cruise thinks a comic book character's real.